Welcome back, Rate My Video fans. This week we're looking at Tiger Tyagarajan, the former CEO of digital transformation powerhouse GenPact, and we'll be breaking down how he presents himself to a virtual audience and, more importantly, how he impacts that virtual audience with his virtual presence. Let's dive in.
So talk about what is the biggest blind spot for companies that are on this transformation?
So it's a great question because we're clearly seeing every company think through what does digital transformation.
Oh boy, this virtual stage is really something. Harsh overhead lighting puts his face mostly in the shadows with some bright splotches on his nose and forehead, not necessarily where you want them. And a depressing office wall, complete with a fire alarm, just in case. Look, I'll give him a pass if he's in a temporary location. But what I cannot let pass is the cardinal sin of camera placement. Look, despite being centered in frame, his camera is positioned way too low, which treats us to the classic ceiling view. Look, these foundational setup mistakes are really red flags. They communicate a lack of attention to detail and respect for your audience. If you didn't tell me, I would never know this was a CEO of a $4 billion company from this setup alone.
Having people take decisions differently, leveraging technology and tools and the cloud and AI and machine learning, dramatically improving user experience, customer experience, all of those things. So parsing those two would be important.
This reminds me a bit of a puppet show. Tiger's hands are lunging towards the camera, followed by his head. And it not only invades our personal space, it distracts us completely from his message, which happens to be very clear and insightful on its own. But it's drowned out by this visual chaos. Notice how Tiger's eyes rarely meet the camera. They're mostly looking at his screen, and that makes it easy for an audience to disengage or tune out, disconnect, not feel like he's talking to them. And it also makes it harder to trust what he's saying.
It's about people, because in the end, you really want to have people change the way they work.
Now, this right here is Tiger's strongest moment in the interview. His eye contact's still a little low, just a little off, but his passion and enthusiasm comes shining through. He uses great emphasis and strategic pauses. This is the Tiger that built a $4 billion company.
So if you ask me for the single biggest roadblock, it's how do you drive change through an organization? And by the way, the more successful an organization, the more that challenge increases, as you can imagine.
And then it all unravels. Notice how he rushed towards the ending and then sort of trailed off and just dropped everything physically and vocally. That leaves an impression of lack of confidence, which I don't think is a problem, but that is the impression that we get. True leaders don't rush, and we have to remember that the camera is still running even when we are done. The power and passion of Tiger's words are unmistakable, but those fast, jerky movements are virtual kryptonite. Imagine the impact if he combined that powerful message with a solid, confident, still presence. While Tiger is clearly brilliant and experienced at what he does, his virtual delivery is actively sabotaging his message. All in all, I would give Tiger, and I know you can do much better than this, 3 out of 10. Well, that's a wrap for today. Do you agree with my assessment? Am I being too harsh? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you know someone who would benefit from these tips, please share this video with them. I'll see you soon on the next Rate My Video.